What's up everyone, some guy here with another Alliance War video. Season 22, war number 5, we are versing NXS. I think they used to be AGT Smoke. It looks like they have split from the AGT family. But first up here we have Hitmonkey again on Ebb and Flow Knockdown. Same concept, we're just going to use Nick Fury's SP1 to knock him down, and hoping the Disorient debuff will disable the node altogether. Very common placement for Hitmonkey here, but I'm getting pretty used to fighting him out on this node now. So right there, after I threw my SP1, it looks like one of Hitmonkey's passive abilities did trigger. I think the Disorient debuff is kind of on and off. Sometimes it'll trigger one of the Hitmonkey's passive abilities. Sometimes it won't trigger any. So I think that's one thing you have to watch out for. And moving on to the next fight, we have Annihilus pretty much on the same nodes. This is an easy Quake fight. He's not affected by Stubborn, so it's just a normal Quake and Shake fight. You just have to drop your heavy to knock him down while the Aftershock concussion is up to disable the Ebb and Flow knockdown node. Next up here, we have Doom on Power Snack and Backup Recovery. Usually when you Quake this node, you want to Dex twice in the beginning to bank the precision buff from your Dex. But since this is Doom, your first Dex will get nullified and he will put a shock debuff on you, and you don't want that. So what you want to do is usually kind of play Quaking like Spite. What you want to do is just create 3 to 4 aftershocks and then wait for it to expire. That way the stun timer is little to none, and it'll give you enough time for you to Dex while concussion is up to bank the precision buff. And from here on out, you just want to do Shake and Bake. Basically just parry right before the aftershock timer is up to disable the indestructible node. You could Quake and Bake or just heavy parry this node, but Doom has pretty high block damage, so that's why I chose Shake and Bake. It's safer in my opinion. This is also a rank 3 Doom, so he hits pretty hard. I did mess up, I think, there in the beginning. I'm not sure why. You'll see in this war I make a lot of mistakes. I make a lot of mistakes that I usually won't make. I'm not sure if it's because I'm tired or just out of it, but it's not my best war. Doom is almost down, probably like 1 or 2 more aftershocks and he'll go down. But as you can see, there's a lot of block damage coming from a rank 3 Doom. So I think next time if I do take that fight, I'm going to boost up even bigger, more health boost and more green boost for that fight. So right here, I'm just topping off Quake before I start boosting again for my second section of the war. But coming up here is Killmonger on Footloose and Kinetic Transference. It's a fairly manageable fight with magic, along with the advanced power boost. Once you lock down SP2 and get him power locked, it should be a walk in the park-ish. The setup in the beginning can take a little bit of time, sometimes if he decides to throw his SP1s. And sometimes it can get a little bit annoying if SP2 doesn't power lock. But other than that, it's a pretty manageable fight. And next up, we have Rhino on Ebb and Flow Intercept, another very common placement. I'm going to use Nick Fury for this one. Usually I do use Quake, but since this Rhino is not on Redouble Determination node, I think Nick Fury is a lot safer option, just because Quake sometimes could time out. Not a very good start to the fight, already getting clipped by the Unblockable. Most of the time, if I pay attention to the text, I think I am able to dodge it just in time before the Unblockable kicks in. Plus, he was being kind of passive in the beginning and not throwing his specials. But this fight, I'm going to try and shut down the Ebb and Flow Intercept node using the Nick Fury's SP1. But it doesn't work out the way I wanted to. This guy's also running recoil. I find that a lot of defenders do run suicides on the Ebb and Flow nodes just because the protection does prevent their the suicides, like the bleed and the poison from triggering at all. Recoil still happens, but because stubborn defenders, sometimes recoil doesn't even trigger because you'll dex the special and stubborn will kick in. But I'm going to try and spam my SP1 and try and get an intercept while the disorient debuff is on. But you'll see later that it doesn't really work for some reason. I'm not sure if that's because it's Rhino or Nick Fury's disorient debuff is like not reliable. So right here, I do make the intercept while the disorient debuff was on. But as you can see, it did shut down protection, but the passive Fury node did pop up, meaning there is a timer, so it doesn't really quite shut it down permanently. So I'm not sure if that's because Rhino was unstoppable or for whatever other reasons. I did get pushed to Nick Fury's second life, but I'm not too worried because this is my last fight with Nick Fury for this war. And we've got Nova next on Ebb and Flow Intercept and Redouble Determination. I've taken this fight many times with Quake. Very simple shake and bake fight. Just parry right before the aftershock is about to expire. You will take some block damage, but nothing out of the ordinary. You will see that this is one of my sloppier fights with Quake. I do make a few mistakes here. Again, I don't know why. Maybe because I'm tired, but for the most part, it's all right. Right there, Nova does become unblockable. Luckily, I was paying attention and didn't parry this time. I don't think I can take another hit from him. Alright, moving on to the mini boss island. Just gonna top off my champions before I boost. We're gonna take the 3 left minis. First one is Invisible Woman on Rage. I was kind of worried about this fight. I was worried that Quake might time out because of Rage plus Invisible Woman's force field, taking all that aftershock damage. But you'll see that that'll be the least of my worries. At the beginning of the fight, I'm just gonna do shake and bake. Basically pairing right before the aftershock time is about expired. Invisible Woman is a stubborn defender. This fight is very sloppy. As you can see, I'm already getting hit. I don't know why. It might be because I'm overthinking. But I did find out that if concussion is up while Invisible Woman's force field cooldown is expiring, it does prevent it from triggering coming back up. So that's when I started switching into just Quake and Bake. I was hoping that this style would make the fight a lot faster, thus I won't time out. But I'm not used to baking, and her light attacks are a lot faster than I expected. So I got clipped really hard over there. I just didn't think I was gonna make it, but luckily she does turn invisible and does put a vulnerable debuff on me, and I'm able to willpower and heal from that. So that really saved my life from this fight. I think without the vulnerable debuff on me and the willpower, I think the block damage will push me to assassin's range, and I think I might die from that. All right, we barely came out of that fight alive, but moving on to the next fight is Mysterio. I think it's on Power Focus 1 and Enhanced Special 1, along with Power Drain. Mysterio is not a stubborn defender, so this is just a regular Quake and Shake fight. I should have taken a break prior to this fight, just so I can reset myself from that last fight. As you can see, this fight I will be making mistakes as well, and it's gonna be even scarier than the last fight. So that's, I think, a tip that I should take for myself moving forward. Yeah, I do think it's important to take a break and calm down and cool down after coming out of a scary fight before going back into another war fight. That way you can reset yourself more and be more composed. But I'm about to get clipped. Yep, very soon here. I want to say it's double input. I might have been just my hands might have been sweaty from my last fight. I'm not sure how. I usually have no problem quaking Mysterio. But as you can see, I'm very close to Assassin's range. I got really lucky that I didn't get there. And because Mysterio is not stubborn, so I didn't have to parry him and take any more block damage, but very, very close fight. Alright, and moving on to the next fight, we have Symbiote Supreme on improved power gain, and I think enhanced special 2 and special 2 bias. He's not a stubborn defender, so very easy fight with magic. Just gotta lock down the SP2 power lock, and it should be good from there. And I gotta say, this is probably one of my better fights throughout this war. Alright, it's a nice and simple magic fight. That is it for me from this war. Unfortunately, we do take an L for this war by quite a lot as well. This is probably one of my sloppiest war. Honestly, I think I got very lucky that I was able to solo all my fights. I don't think I got punished as bad for all my mistakes. But definitely need to slow down more and take some breaks before fights. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.